Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by Grain Equipment Company, where innovation meets execution, and also in part by Xyway, brand fungicide, where you get an unfair advantage. Always read and follow label directions. I'm Dale Minio. Good Monday morning, everyone. Nearly 2 inches of rain, 1.94 inches of rain over the weekend, and a good bit of blowing snow over the afternoon on Sunday. Made the roads a little, well, at least my driveway, a little bit rough, but we cleaned that up. As we check out other notes, on Thursday, February 13th, 2025, Congress introduced legislation to expand nationwide year-round access to E15 fuel. Ohio Representative Max Miller co-sponsored the bill. The Ohio Corn and Wheat Growers Association urging Ohio's congressional delegation and senators to support and pass the resolution. The action will provide crucial support for our nation's energy sector, relief at the gas pump for American families, and assistance for Ohio farmers and rural communities. The passage of a nationwide year-round E15 bill comes at no cost to American taxpayers, said Tad Nicholson, Executive Director of Ohio Corn and Wheat. It's time for Congress to offer a common-sense solution to outdated regulations. We strongly urge Ohio's representatives and 2 senators to do the right thing and make nationwide year-round E15 a permanent reality. E15, commonly sold in Ohio as unleaded 88, is an accessible option to alleviate financial strains for families across the nation while offering a reliable and established solution to the country's fuel supply. There is no disagreement regarding the advantages of nationwide E15, Nicholson stated. A national fix is an issue that both Democrats and Republicans agree is necessary, and now is the time to turn it into reality. The expanded availability of E15 would provide economic and environmental benefits to farmers and consumers in Ohio. Excess corn will be used to meet the new demand that E15 would create. Consumers would experience significant savings per gallon at the fuel pump. On average, E15, or unleaded 88 as it's called, costs 20 cents per gallon less than regular unleaded 87 gas, which is a much-needed savings for families who have been hit hard by inflation. Additionally, E15 is better for the environment because it has been proven to be a cleaner burning fuel that makes our air safer to breathe. Corn producers already have the supply on hand to meet this new demand for corn, stated Tyler Dravis, president of the Ohio Corn and Wheat Growers Association. We have remained dedicated to our effort to secure E15 approval for permanent nationwide use. This common sense solution to a long-standing issue will benefit consumers and growers nationwide. Ohio is home to 7 ethanol plants that use 32% of the state's corn crop. These plants support over 19,700 jobs and 21,000 Ohio farms. Ohio is the 7th largest state in corn and ethanol production. Today's weather brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. Here's the forecast.
We're dry to start the week here in Ohio, but we still have a little moisture to watch out for. I'm Chief Meteorologist Ryan Martin. Let's take a look at an Ohio Ag Weather Update. It's cold here, that's for sure, and we're going to be cold through most of this week. Now, several questions have popped up over the weekend. Folks have asked me, are we going to be as cold as what we were back in January? I don't think so. Here's the main reason why I don't think so. First of all, we're about 4 weeks past that big cold surge in mid-January. We've added about 75 to 80 minutes of sunlight per day since then. And so that is going to help us. And we're also seeing better sun angles, so we get more solar radiation. So that's going to help. Secondly, while this air mass is Arctic in origin, the Arctic is not quite as cold as what was out there before as well. So I'm thinking that, yes, it's cold. Yes, we're not going to like it very much this week. Wednesday is probably going to be the baddest day for cold temperatures, but it probably doesn't quite get to the level of what we saw in January. All right, the other side of it, precipitation. We've got a weather system here today coming together, kicking out of the Central Plains and into the Missouri Valley tonight, putting down some snow in the Central Plains, and that snow will track eastward through the Missouri Valley. Largely, this event stays south of the Ohio River, but I do think I-70 southward, we have to allow for some hit and misses, scattered snow showers on Wednesday, minor accumulations near the Ohio River, farther north clouds and getting some sunshine, but I don't think it's going to be a direct hit to Ohio this week. Behind that system, Colder for Thursday into early Friday, and then we get on the backside of high pressure, starting to see temperatures moderate over the weekend, but not seeing full moderation and warmer temperatures until next week. I'm meteorologist Ryan Martin.
And thanks, Ryan. The Ohio Department of Agriculture is announcing the sign-up period for farmers to apply for state drought relief funding, which began on February 15th and will close April the 1st. Extreme weather conditions throughout the spring and summer significantly impacted Ohio's agriculture producers. When your livelihood depends on weather, droughts can be devastating, said Governor Mike DeWine. This funding relief will ensure our farmers have access to additional resources that will help strengthen their operations. Governor DeWine signed Senate Bill 54 into law in December of 24, which allocated state funding to provide relief to producers who face challenging, persistent conditions. The legislation was spearheaded by State Representative Don Johnson of Freeport, former State Representative Jay Edwards of Nelsonville, and State Senator Brian Chavez of Marietta. Local soil and water conservation districts will help administer the relief funding to 28 counties designated as primary natural disaster areas by the United States Department of Agriculture between August 19th and September 16th, 2024, due to drought. Funding is available to any livestock producer participating in the USDA FSA Livestock Forage Disaster Program in a county designated as a primary natural disaster area. Quickly, those 28 counties are Athens, Belmont, Carroll, Fairfield, Fayette, Franklin, Gallia, Guernsey, Harrison, Highland, Hocking, Jackson, Jefferson, Lawrence, Licking, Madison, Meigs, Monroe, Morgan, Muskingum, Noble, Perry, Pickaway, Pike, Ross, Tuscarawas, Benton, and Washington County. Some farmers are still feeling the impacts of the drought that resulted in depleted hay and water supplies and created mental health stressors for farmers and their families. From mental health challenges to loss of production, lack of water for livestock, and financial concerns, our producers felt extreme pressures. As a seventh-generation farmer, I know the uncertainty that comes with the job, said ODA Director Brian Baldridge. Ohio's agriculture communities are resilient, and I am thankful for Governor DeWine and the Ohio legislature for their unwavering support of our producers. This funding assistance will help provide additional relief to our hardworking farming communities. Livestock producers located in those 28 impacted counties are encouraged to contact their local soil and water conservation districts to discuss eligibility and to apply for funding. More resources and information, contact ODA's Drought Resource webpage. Stay tuned. I'll be back with more after this.
Here's the scoop. Soybeans are fueling Ohio's dairy farms, one glass of milk at a time. Nationwide, dairy farms use the equivalent of 229 million bushels of soybeans every year. Plus, high oleic soybeans boost milk fat and yield, making farms more profitable. From the fields to your fridge, soybeans power the farms that feed families. Brought to you by Ohio soybean farmers and their checkoff.
Farmers, crop consultants, and ag business leaders. The Conservation, Tillage, and Technology Conference is March 11th and 12th at Ohio Northern University in Ada. The theme is getting more from less. 4 concurrent sessions each day with 60 presenters. Registration today is $100 and includes exclusive access to videos of all sessions after April 15th. CCA and CLM credits included. Go to ctc.osu.edu for more information. On the calendar, don't forget GrainElevatorAuction.com is where you'll find more information on the liquidation sale of Wellman Seed Buildings and Equipment. Bidding ends February 18th and 20th at 4 p.m. That's GrainElevatorAuction.com for complete information. And thanks to Ohio soybean farmers, Grow Next Gen provides free STEM tools and connects students to high-tech ag careers. Learn more today at grownextgen.org. Mid-February brings a strong cold wave to much of the contiguous United States east of the Rockies. Bitter cold air, strong winds, and the threat of snow and freezing precipitation are all featured. As of February 10th, frozen soil in the north-central U.S. at a depth greater than 24 inches were concentrated in the Dakotas, Minnesota, and Wisconsin. This harsh pattern is, of course, a safety and health hazard to people and livestock. It can also affect soil conditions, fieldwork schedules, and overwintering pest populations for the spring season. And in terms of soil freeze depth, the level is at the deepest point in several years. For example, a look at the early February soil frost depth in Minnesota shows soil frost depth in the range of 3 to 5 feet. That level is the deepest level of frost since the early 2020s. We are seeing ground frost a little deeper than in recent years. The last time it was this deep was 2019. Minnesota Department of Natural Resources climatologist said the largest issue we've been seeing in the winter is the lack of snow cover, allowing the cold to penetrate, and that could cause issues for our wheat crop. As we get through, the big month for that wheat crop will be March. Back with markets after this.
Morton Buildings is holding their annual Building Value Day sales event, running now until the end of February. If you are looking to build, now's the time to lock in your building project and save. Join them for their open house Friday, February 21st, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m., and Saturday, February 22nd, 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. at one of their Ohio construction centers, Caldwell, Kenton, Wilmington, or Worcester. For more information and to find your local office, visit mortonbuildings.com. Certain restrictions may apply. This offer is available on select building styles. Contact your local construction center for more details.
Get ready, Ohio! National FFA Week is here, and we're celebrating the future of agriculture. The Ohio AgNet, the voice you know with the News You Trust studio, and celebrating Ohio's nearly 30,000 FFA members. From the countryside to downtown, an Ohio FFA chapter can be found in every corner of our great state. Each student who zips up the blue corduroy jacket is equipped with the qualities of premier leadership, personal growth, and career success. From your friends at the Ohio AgNet, happy FFA Week.
Today's market analysis is brought to you by the Louis Dreyfus Company. Excited to be building the newest state-of-the-art soybean crush facility in Upper Sandusky, Ohio. Call 574-566-2113 for information on soybean marketing to LDC. Now with the analysis, here's Ryan Martin.
Grain markets finished out Friday on a mostly positive note, but it was not without a little bit of drama, particularly in corn. For a while, corn traded lower, and we actually saw beans come well off the double-digit highs that we put into the marketplace early on. Wheat was the darling of the day on Friday with double-digit gains, and it was all because it's going to be cold in the plains. Oh, schnookums, the wheat crop going to get a little chilly. Come on, guys. This kind of cold air is not going to cause problems for the wheat. Now, that being said, I do know that there's some doofus that put out a lot of talking points after the last cold snap in the plains that, oh my gosh, we have done damage to this wheat. No, you haven't. The wheat is fine. But look, if it's going to float wheat prices up 20 cents, by golly, let's go with it, okay? That was the story on wheat. Now we're also hearing that the DOGE, the Department of Government Efficiency, is headed to USDA. And the Supplemental Nutrition and whatever AP stands for, well, P stands for program. But anyway, the food stamps program is going to be scrutinized very, very tightly. Let's just put it this way. Some of you are going to think, yeah, probably it should be. But I will also say this. Remember, without the SNAP program, the Farm Bill does not exist. We don't get a Farm Bill otherwise, so be careful what you wish for. Definitely want to rein in the waste. I get that. I understand it 100%, but the DOGE's microscope on USDA may not be a super good thing. We will see. The bounce on domestic soybean basis, along with a fear of decline in the U.S. crush rate, has underpinned a soy meal recovery. Last Friday, we got that back above $300 a ton on a basis March. Now, we didn't close there, but we got traded above it for a while. A sustained rally in soybeans need to be led by soy oil, and unfortunately, that's where we saw the market fall apart on Friday. I'm Ryan Martin.
And thanks, Ryan. Today's market is brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. Due to today's holiday, we're recapping Friday's closing figures. March corn, $4.96 1/4, up 2 3/4. December up 1/4 cent at $4.73. March beans, $10.36, up 6. November up 6 3/4 at $10.52. July wheat up 22 1/4 to $6.25 1/4 cent. Carry that to September. You're up 21 1/2 at $6.38 1/2 cents. In livestock, February cattle, $197.75 down $1.80. April down $2.27 at $194.25. April lean hogs $92.60 down 50 cents. April feeder cattle down $1.55 at $266.42. Thanks for joining us. This is the Ohio AgNet.